What's up, YouTube? Calling 221 here, and welcome to another commentary for Covenant of Heroes 2. We're going on Semoskiy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I am not the Germans. I am the Russians this time. Now, I know some of you may think that I've been doing a lot of the Germans, and it's actually I played more as the Russians. They're just not getting as many gameplays as the Russians. Like, often they'll quit on me, and it's just not good. So basically, I'm starting off with a special rifle command. Now, I believe I'm going to get some penal troops. This was a little while ago. I'm starting to do a one conscript start along with building this special rifle command. But as you can see, the special rifle command is very key. It has snipers, it has your scout car, and your penal troops. And the fact is that your scout cars can get around machine guns. Now, in this map, it's a ton of urban fighting. A key part of this map is this church right here. And it would be very good to get 120mm mortars, so that's why I've chosen my doctrine. I think it's guard, no, it's not guard motor, what is it, hold on. I don't do the Soviets, well, I mean, yeah, Soviet shock arm. I know the German doctrine's a little bit better than the Soviet ones. G-Spox has gone counterattack, these guys have gone mechanized assault grenadiers, very good. This is a good doctrine for rushing. And so I've gone with the mortar and the shock troops. I want to start using some of the shock troops and you know, show how good they are. They're really good because they have smoke grenades, which help you fight machine guns. They also have real grenades. So that's something new. Anyway, my engineer's going to go capture this point here. And they call them Strafback, but here my my penal battalion. These guys are effective anti-infantry guys. They have Ura, I didn't notice that. They have to be better C2 to use that. They also have satchel charges, and they have tripwire flares. So that's kind of cool. I've never used a tripwire flare myself. And by the way, this conscript assault upgrade is only 10 munitions. That's pretty good. So far, our enemies are going to the far right. I believe they're going to set up in this house here. They want to like constrict it. They really want to take this right side. G-Spots, meanwhile, is moving in with a ton of conscripts and some combat engineers. Meanwhile, in the south, this time I'm going to mainly fighting the assault grenadiers, pioneers, and more pioneers. He did a 2 pioneer start, it looks like. He's got another machine gun coming up. So one of the things about this map I like is that it's so even, guys. You should be able to like... Can you flank over here? You can sit here. Huh, you could watch... If you got some snipers here, you can watch the victory point. I think I'll let you. There's openings and stuff, right? Anyway, I'm going to boom my engineers into this. I just want to keep the Germans from putting a machine gun there. That's all I really care about. Meanwhile, I'm building some sandbags. Some sandbag position. Meanwhile, I really wish I had a satchel charge right here. We're in heavy cover, and we're dealing some death to these guys. With the assault grenadiers there, what I've now started focusing on, they're going to be better at close range, especially with how many men. I mean, they're outnumbered 3-1, right? So I got to pull these guys back. Hotkey T, by the way. So they've really hit both those sides. Juicebox is dealing with the machine gun here. He sent a satchel charge, not satchel charge. Put a Molotov in there. The house was on fire temporarily. Also some more conscripts over here. And I got my guys behind cover. We're shooting at some of these grenadiers. So they firmly have gone into this area. I'm getting a scout car. One of the big vulnerabilities of the assault grenadiers, you can keep this in mind, is one, they get utterly destroyed by conscripts. I'm sorry, they get utterly destroyed by shock troops, but they do not have any Panzer Shreks. So they're very vulnerable to light scout cars. So what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to get my munitions up high enough to be able to get some flamethrowers for these guys and put them in the scout car and use that to flank around and get any machine guns like that. So far, we have 2 victory points, but it's only being lightly held by G-Spox on this side. They're continuing to put some more grenadiers. Would have been nice to have like a conscript sandbag emplacement like I have here. Anyway, this is where I realize I'm talking to G-Spox at this point. I'm like, oh, I dare you to go in that house. I dare you to go in that house. So as he's running into this house, keep in mind the door is on this side. Where are they going? So you just put up in the house. I'm gonna throw a satchel charge right in. So I'm like, have fun. He's gonna lose his machine gun, and boom, look at that. Machine gun 42, MG 42 there. So I gotta pull these guys back. Anyway, I at least got these guys in the scout car, right? And with my my penal troops in there, and we're staying still, we're doing some real damage. Keep in mind, none of these guys have Panzer Shreks. So at this point, I can get some nice shock troops. We are taking some fire, so I'm just gonna breeze past those guys, and I'm gonna try to secure these points here. I do have the 120mm mortar. So far, they haven't attacked largely in the town. They've been going right for our flanks. They may be trying to pressure us because that's how we get all reinforcements from this road. Anyway, I just bounded my my peanut battalion here. I'm gonna take defensive positions on the wall. So we're still neutralizing the point. I'm gonna pull this a little bit further back to provide support. But unless these guys throw something, they're gonna be coming into deep cover. Looks like they are throwing the stun grenades. I gotta pull back. They're gonna hurt my men a lot. I'm just gonna pull back to a different wall. Meanwhile, this thing's still shooting them, and we have added up those guys. I also have some shock troops now coming down. Keep in mind they do have the smoke and the anti-personnel grenade, which can be very good. So they've started getting a mortar. They're possibly trying to mortar any houses and stuff. I guess you could say scorched earth. All the conscripts are trying to hold up over here. And he's got to pull them back because it seems like they have a lot of pioneers. Anyway, this right side's, he like completely abandoned it. I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of troops, right? He's already teched up to get some Panzer Grenadiers. Meanwhile, one of them, very good players in this game. I don't do it enough, but they get the, what is that? they get the medic bunker. How about you and your teammate? And it's, you know, it should be around like here or something to cover both guys, but whatever. Can always move it. So I'm getting more of my troops in position. I'm getting some shock troops. Look, the shock troops have body armor. Let's see, do you see that thing on their chest? I think that's body armor right there. Yeah, you see that? I can't point on my mouse because he's going to go blue, but right here is his body armor. So with my shock troops and my Pinot troops, I am taking back this side. I'm going to fortify this side because I know they're going to keep going for it. And meanwhile, I'm building a fuel cache. Keep in mind, there's a 10-minute rule. So basically, they get tanks around 10 minutes if they're a decent player. I mean, not saying people aren't decent, they don't get around 10 minutes, but generally get 10 minutes. The Soviets, if they're using Soviet infantry, Soviet industry, then you can be in trouble because they can get it in 6 minutes. I figure at that angle I can throw a satchel charge on these guys, and he reads my mind after losing a previous MG, and that happens. Anyway, the shock troops here, even though they're suppressing and the machine gun is pulled back, and I'm chasing this thing, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna lose my penal troops because of this. I'm just gonna run around, right? So I retreat, and guess what? They come up right here. So this is actually a vulnerable spot. And I'm repairing that. I'm getting a second shock trooper. Shock troops. Meanwhile, this flank is still pretty open. You can see there's a lot of fighting. It almost looks like a bomber. Alright, he went Luftwaffe doctrine. So he's dropping right now some medical supplies, which it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's in a narrow spot, right? And these guys are slightly wounded and his machine gun could use it. But the problem is they have to stop shooting to do that. And I'm laying some mines. I'm going to fortify the hell out of this. Look, there's like a dead grenadier still here. I'm basically using these guys to stall up the, I'm using that to stall up the German advance on this side so I can prepare defensive fighting positions. Maybe get some anti-tanks. I got a mine here, putting down some barbed wire, and I'm going to fortify over here also. This one guy in this house, he's even got Panzer Grenadiers. Like, you're not going to, you killed one guy, right? But there's a bunch of guys in here. Should probably put the resources. You can kind of see the resources down here. We're getting a lot more fuel than them because we both put down fuel caches. and they don't have any. And then at this point, I thought I was like securing this whole area. I'm laying down even more mines, but I didn't realize they could come over here, even though my infantry retreated that way. And I'm just keeping this far enough away. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Because it's right in front of those guys, right? And they got it. Anyway, at least my shock troops. We're going to throw a grenade in here. And wow, we just like blew that guy's arm off. And grenades are going around everywhere. And bazookas, Panther strikes. I'm losing men. And they're throwing a bundle grenade here. Those guys are screwed. I got some AT grenades. Look, he even has this, wait a second. If he is... I'm a little confused here. Oh, this guy didn't go Luftwaffe. That's right. The other guy went Luftwaffe to help his teammate out. So as you can see, perfect occasion for anti-tank grenades in my conscripts. All I want to do is pretty much stall up this half track, and I can pull back, right? I mean, I got a bunch of infantry here that need to be built. I'm getting basically a T-34 like medium tank building here, the battalion command.
What do you want, comrade?
You can see I don't have a whole lot of manpower here, and I'm trying to reinforce all my troops. So once again, I'm losing this flank. He's not going to attack from here anymore. Believe it or not, he decided to pull back after neutralizing that point. He was happy. And I'm just laying down more mines. My mines are right here, right? And his half-track was right there. Meanwhile, these guys are still here, and they're throwing stun grenades, and that's not going to be good. And inside the houses are just deadly. I got to pull my guys back, or I'm going to lose them. So I've been largely pushed back by this assault here. You even get a bulletin for getting 50 kills as assault grenadiers. Oh, they're inspired to fight on. That's a new thing. I haven't seen that before. Maybe it was that temporary? That might have been temporary. Either way, I'm just laying down mines everywhere. I'm very afraid of some armored attack here. Anyway, they've decided to fortify this right side here. They might have just decided to go for that, right? They got machine guns, they have a bunker, they have these points here. They're attacking Juice Box. Juice Box is using a combination of heavy shock troops here, along with conscripts. Very cheap to reinforce. How many conscripts does Juice Box have? Let's go over this. 3 conscript squads, a penal battalion, and a shock troop, and an engineer. And I have 2, and yeah, I only have 1 conscript. Nice, he threw a Molotov on these guys and even caught some on fire. And they're continuing to lose health as they stand in them and burn up just like that guy. Anyway, I'm not too worried about that machine gun there. But, by the way, conscripts, just get them the hell away from that. I'm going to give some ground, right? Because I have mines everywhere. I should mine around here, but this is going to stop their advance. I mean, once I see the using what do you call it, the recon, I even have more engineers up here to help me fortify, because I want to fortify down here. So I got my elite infantry to push these guys back. It's gonna put his machine gun Gewehr 900s Swai and Vierzig in this house, and they've taken back the center. Juice Box has been completely pushed back. I've been mostly pushed back on my side. Okay, not pushed back. Aggressively going for the cutoff point. And he can sprint his men, which is pretty cool. For Mother Russia. Effectiveness of all infantry. It's very expensive, but it goes for a minute. And they have speed. And they'll be slightly tired after this. Look at him, he's running around crazy. And his guys are more effective. Look at them, they're shooting like hell. They're like, for Mother Russia. Oh, and he's gonna lose that probably. Now, one thing I have another video to show you guys. Nice Juice Box. I have another video to show you with this guy and me on. It's right outside of Stalingrad, right? And how effective the scout car actually is against infantry. Like, these scout cars are not bad. But either way, I got a T-34. I got 2 T-34s now. I mean, keep in mind, we're at 15 minutes. I'm a little late myself, but they have nothing but light guys, right? They both skipped to heavy Panzer Corps. Now that is a danger there. When you both skip medium, it means you both are delayed on armor. And I think that was a mine. Or a mine. As you can see, I kind of put some mines here, and I fortified along this area. There's mines there, like, mines there, mines there, mines here, mines there. Like, this is completely fortified. My goal right now is to focus on the middle and help us take that back. And if you knew my tank, well, maybe you didn't know my tank was there. He's flanking around with grenadiers, and there's a second T-34. Now, the one thing about having, you know, these basic grenadiers and conscripts, they can, I was like, oh my gosh. Very good of him. He got the Panzer grenadiers. Like, this isn't new, right? But he's had them for quite a little while. But if I can intercept them with my shock troops, which I am, I'm probably going to throw a grenade because they're so bunched up right now. I really just want to get rid of that. So if you're going to be delayed and you're going to skip to the heavy Panzer Corps, you definitely want some anti-tank, like these Panzer Grenadiers or Panzerschrecks, or some other things. Anyway, Juicebox is KV-1 knocking over trees. Look at that. Bounced off. This Stu 3 assault gun, very weak against tanks. Can even be taken down by like a T-70. Okay, I've never seen a T-70 taken down, but it's pretty weak. Meanwhile, more guys. My shock troops are doing a good job of just stalling these guys up. Surprising that's getting some decent armor penetration against my T-34. Very good of him hurting my engine here. But anyway, I gotta pull this back. I managed to repair this with some of my engineers. I have 2 sets of engineers. I'm having Juicebox kind of cover me a little bit with his infantry to get these guys. I'm afraid, let's actually switch over to this guy. I'm wondering if these guys were actually waiting for a Panzerschrecks. We'll see. I love how I turned to purple. Anyway, he has a mortar back here. Good placement, you know, a way you can get the victory point, but this KV-1 is a beast. Does not go down easily. Now they got a Panther. Now, that could change the tide of battle. I just want to quickly see. Nope, he doesn't even have the munitions to upgrade that. Okay, let's go back to me. So that Panther is gonna go around after Juicebox pretty much got around their he got around their bunker system, right? And he's got to pull the hell back because I mean these are pretty even, right? But he's been damaged and got hit from the rear, and his shells are just bouncing off the front of that thing. Now this would be the perfect time to get some of those guys. They keep flanking around behind us, and I'm pretty impressed with that. But he's running his KV away. I believe in a second I'm going to move my T-34 and try to... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to ram the tank for him. But bad pathfinding gets us stuck, and he's going to lose his tank because of me. I backed up for him, and he just kept going forward. Look, I'm trying to get him... I was trying to help ram him, right? And we don't want this half-track, by the way. And because there's a Panther right there. And I feel bad because I made Juicebox lose this guy, but that was poor pathfinding. Anyway, my guys are shooting Germans as they come across, and they have to go through us to retreat. And they got another Stuke. There's just some get some real tanks. You tech up to the heavy tank corps, right? That's just my advice. Massive assault coming in. Juicebox is trying to neutralize that. Once again, the bunkers are still there. All he needs is a mortar. Maybe I should have gotten a mortar for him to help him out. As you can see, I got my engineers here. I wonder what I'm doing with these guys. Maybe I'm... They should be helping to repair here. But my guys here are just slaughtering the Germans as they try to retreat or come across the this negative cover. That's what that broken arrow means. And look at that. We might even kill that unit. That's a no. So we got a bunch of enemy troops. Juicebox has another KV-81. And you know, once again, I'm just going to pull my guys into the building to keep them safe as they're repairing. And simply move in. I really like this combination of penal troops and shock troops. They seem to work really well together. So they damaged my engine, and Juicebox's KB-81 is going to come. This makes it... They damaged both of my engines here. So I'm in trouble with my two T-34s, right? And they're calling an airstrike on me. But the Luftwaffe could be bombing. Nope. It was fire. Thankfully, my Pinot troops can... Dummies with pathfinding. Thankfully, Juicebox's KB-1 came to save me. Because my tanks are critically damaged. What am I building here? Oh, I'm building a howitzer. Oh, that's right. Yeah. And wait till I get my Sturmgewehr. That'd be awesome. So I really need to repair my tanks. You know, I want to pull them back enough, but not too far they can't assist. 17 kills. I gotta pull these guys back. I mean, this thing's very good against infantry. I'll give it that. It's a Stug, right? Just wiped out. That was a... But guess what? There goes my artillery. And you know, this thing's critically damaged. And Juicebox's wave of conscripts is coming in. It'd be nice if he had some assault packages, but he doesn't. I don't think his doctrine offers him that. Yeah, because for the Mother Russia. Nice grenade there. Killed a lot of his men. I guess that half-track got... Did they take it back or did they steal it? Yeah, they took it back. So they're sending some machine guns here. I think they're going to try to get into that house or something, but they might have been spotting. My men, I really need like a half-track or something to come up to really spare the resources to get my guys reinforced. You know, my tanks are pretty beat up. And look, Panther Part 3. Now, if they use their Panther along with these good infantry here, they could probably wipe out my T-34s. This is a mistake. I'm looking at my T-34 too much there, so I'm realizing that. I think with an attack order. But with T-34's engines are damaged, they cannot ram. Juicebox is waiting in ambush here for these guys. So my T-34 was bait. But he has a longer gun than I do. He has a 75mm. And again, I have a 76mm gun. I don't know, the Panther seems to shoot better rounds anyway. This Panther is a little confused there. And I desperately need to get my tanks out of there. And I realize that, so I'm going to try to pull them back now. In their crippled condition. Meanwhile, we still have the 2 victory points. They completely gave up on my side, so I have nothing defending it except my defense. No troops defending, I just have my defenses there. So if we look over here, they're now striking with combined arms here of pioneers, a half-track. Don't send your half-track in first, that's pretty stupid. So I'm going to pause here. And I'm desperately trying to reinforce my engineers. Juicebox has the field infirmary. Meanwhile, my artillery's just kind of shooting blindly. It's killed about 2 guys. Actually, I was going after that mortar. That's right. That damn mortar was bombarding me here. But I got a ton of infantry, and I'm ready to go attack these Germans. So that guy got... Wow, nice. That KV-1 just decimated them. So, you know, they're trying to go after my howitzer, I'm assuming, but I got the shock troops, I got the penal troops. That was a rifle grenade. With the KV-1 and all my troops here, we're doing a decent amount of work. Anyway, I'm not going to let that MG in that house. It is not going to happen. He's even setting up, and I'm like, nope, grenade. Now, I hate how you're still suppressed when there's no MG42. And he's going to pull back, which is smart, because he only has 1 soldier left. And I'll gladly countercharge these guys. Because they charged in, and we're just going to keep going. Go you. Oh, we lost some of our men there. I don't think the bundle grenades are as deadly as the personnel grenades. Like, I haven't seen them do a whole lot of damage. Anyway, I got 2 T-34s here. I got 2 engineers. Keep that in mind. The more engineers you have repairing, you want about, I'd say 2 for 3 tanks or something. Makes them go a lot faster when you get them back into combat. Now, the Panther's back. But I got my T-34s here, and I'm going to help out Juicebox. I'm going to make up for him. Make up for what I did last. It wasn't me. It was a pathfinding, okay? But I'm going to make up for him losing his tank. We got another Panther coming in. Oh, it's another one of those guys. I'm simply going to get the attention, and my guns cannot penetrate the front of his armor, so I'm simply going to spin around behind him. He's either going to turn. Very nice maneuvering here. He's actually able to get away from us, but we still have our... We're still chasing him. He's doing blitz. And we're missing. Look how fast he blitzed on the road. And I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I didn't realize there's a second Panther popping up. I'm like, oh, okay, back up. Back up. I'm really hoping I keep my Veteran C2, but I can't. The KB-1 comes up. There's a second KB-1. Very tough, heavy tank. Juicebox likes the KB-1s a lot. You know, we got more forces charging in there. I'm sending another one of my T-34s. Actually bringing them back a little bit, I guess. Because they're really trying to go for this victory point at this point. Because we're down. They have the middle victory point right now. There's not really a whole lot defending this. But seriously, going against all these guys, and I still have my howitzer, which I'm not sure it's... Must have just used it. It's still cooling down. Anyway, massive fight up here. I've just torn back that. I got to bring some of my own troops here because... Okay, he's getting some Pioneers to help repair. Shock troops with a flamethrower. That's awesome. Either way, my tanks need to get up here. Because they're doing some real damage to Juicebox, and with getting the side armor or whatever with my two T-34s, I can do some real damage against these Panthers here. And that's if I call a Sturmovik on these guys too. And they destroyed that KV-1. We're bouncing off some of the armor. Not sure if they're glitched together. Should really call a Sturmovik right here. But we got both of their Panthers because Juicebox picked up some Panzerschrecks along the way. And they called a Stuka. You know what that means? Move! Whenever you hear that, you gotta move the hell out of the way. Because there's no smoke for that, which is good. And I'm being kind of a jerk here. I'm gonna call a Sturmovik right on their base. Which is honestly a very jerky thing to do and really cheap. So let's watch the Sturmovik go in here. I killed some of these guys. So, I mean, they still have a lot of... These guys both have a lot of fuel. Right? They could do something. They have manpower and fuel. This guy especially has a lot of fuel. Could at least get a Panzer IV. But look at that. Just killing, kill that Veteran Z3 unit, right? And I got my engineers in a more forward position. As you can see, it's been rather destroyed this town. So they quit after I destroyed a lot of their troops with the Sturmovik, and me and Juicebox destroyed their two Panthers. And I hope you guys enjoyed this Russian replay for Counter Heroes 2. Leave a like if you did.